What if Harry was sorted into Slytherin? One of the most important moments in a young witch or wizard life happened the moment they get off the train and they arrive at Hogwarts for the very first time, to put on the sorting hat and to be sorted in one of the 4 Hogwarts houses. After all, your Hogwarts house is like your family. It's who you will share meals with, it's who you have classes with, it's who your roommates will be, it's where you will spend most of your time. Most likely for better or worse, it will shape the entire trajectory of your life. And make no mistake, how you are sorted is how the Wizarding world will perceive you. There's one sorting in particular the entire Wizarding world has been waiting for with bated breath. The sorting of Harry James Potter, the boy who lived, the one who defeated the Dark Lord. Is he a great dark wizard? Does he have powers unknown to anybody? Or is he just an ordinary boy who had something extraordinary happen to him? As swiftly as Harry became famous, that's how swiftly he disappeared, not to be heard or seen again for a decade. We know in the official version Harry ended up in Gryffindor, but what if the sorting had made another choice that day? How will the story change with Harry in Slytherin? Let's find out together in What If Harry Was Sorted into Slytherin. First, let's recap on what will remain the same. Like in the original story, Voldemort kills the Potters. Hagrid takes Harry to Surrey on Sirius' black motorbike. Due to Lily's sacrifice, Dumbledore places Harry with the Dursleys. Harry still grows up to be an abused child. On Dudley's birthday they still go to the zoo. And Harry's accidental magic still causes a chaos in the zoo. Harry then receives his letter. The Dursleys take away Harry's letter. The letters keep coming. The Dursleys flee to the island. Hagrid still comes to collect Harry. And Hagrid of course still tells Harry,
"You're a wizard, Harry."
The Dursleys and Hagrid end up arguing and Dudley ends up with a pigtail. Harry and Hagrid then go to the Leaky Cauldron. They go into Diagon's Alley. They visit Harry's vault. Hagrid also takes with him the Philosopher's Stone. They go buy Harry's school supplies. Harry still meets Draco. And after buying everything else, Harry goes to buy his wand. And of course Harry still receives Hedwig as a birthday gift from Hagrid. And now we dive into why Harry gets sorted into Slytherin. The Super Colin Brothers did a really good take of why Harry would end up in Slytherin. The basis of their what if Harry had not met Draco that day, Harry would not ask the sorting hat to not place him in Slytherin. However, in my version I will take a different route. Let's begin. After they're done buying Harry's school supplies, Harry finally asks Hagrid who placed him with the Dursleys. Hagrid replies it was Dumbledore, McGonagall and himself. Harry asks who McGonagall and Dumbledore are. Hagrid replies that Dumbledore is the headmaster and McGonagall is the deputy headmaster. Hagrid also tells Harry that McGonagall is the head of Gryffindor house. This is what turns Harry against Gryffindor. Harry goes home to the Dursleys. On September 1, Harry has no idea how to get onto the platform. Luckily, Harry overhears a mother talking to her children, and Harry follows the Weasleys onto the platform. Harry gets on the train and finds a nice quiet compartment for himself. On the train, Harry meets Neville and Hermione. Both Hermione and Neville are looking for Neville's toad. Harry tells them that he has not seen them, but he is willing to help them look. After they find Trevor, they head back to Harry's compartment. The trio introduce themselves to each other and Neville and Hermione are starstruck to see the one and only Harry Potter sitting in front of them. And for the rest of the train ride, the trio get to know each other a lot better. Harry also meets and instantly dislikes Draco. The train ride comes to an end, they get into the boat and then they enter into Hogwarts. McGonagall still gives the welcoming speech to new students and then it's time to finally get to the sorting. The sorting had sort several students before it's finally Harry's turn.
You're sure? Better be Slytherin!
To say that the Great Hall is shocked by the outcome is an understatement. Dumbledore, for his part, has no idea what to make of Harry's sorting. The Slytherin start cheering, having always believed that Harry would be the next Great Dark Lord, and his sorting in Slytherin proves that in their eyes. The rest of the sorting proceeds without incident. Dumbledore gives his opening speech like always, and then the feast happens. The only difference is that Harry is of course now a Slytherin instead of a Gryffindor. Meanwhile, at the teacher's table, McGonagall and Dumbledore are talking. Say Minerva, do you know why Harry Potter ended up in Slytherin? McGonagall replies, it was the strangest thing. Almost all I heard under his breath was, not in Gryffindor, not in Gryffindor, not in Gryffindor. Dumbledore replies, strange, I wonder what happened. McGonagall replies with, I told you 10 years ago they are the worst sorts of muggles. Meanwhile, Severus Snape also has no idea what to make of Harry's sorting. The feast comes to an end and Dumbledore tells the student to stay away from the 3rd floor corridor. After they're finished in the Great Hall, they head back to the common room. For Harry in this vision, that means a Slytherin common room. And then the school year starts. I believe that most of it would go the same way as it goes in the original story. The key difference, of course, is potion class, where Severus Snape treats Harry way better like any other Slytherin. And if you're wondering why Snape would treat Harry way better, that's because of his sorting. Thanks to the sorting, Snape can now see the difference between Harry and James. However, Harry's popularity doesn't last long, with Draco actively trying to smear his name. And Harry, of course, has no hatred for Muggleborns or Muggles. Just because Harry dislikes the Dursleys does not mean he believes that Muggles should all burn and die. But Harry is not without friends. After all, he still has his friendships with Hermione and Neville. And soon Harry will have another friend. And then it's time for the flying lesson, which will go exactly the same way as in canon. Neville breaks his wrist. Draco picks up the Remembrall. Harry of course retrieves it from Draco. Harry scores some major points with the Gryffindors. Snape, who has seen everything, puts Harry on the Slytherin Quidditch team as seeker. After flying lesson, Harry is relaxing in the courtyard where he is approached by a red-headed boy. The boy introduces himself as Ronald Weasley, and like the original story, Harry and Ron immediately becomes good friends. One day Harry receives a broomstick and Nimbus 2000. It's a gift from Lucius Malfoy. With time, Lucius hopes to convert Harry to the dark side. Meanwhile, Draco is not happy how could his own father buy his school nemesis a broomstick. Draco has a plan. He will challenge Ron to a duel. Draco knows exactly how to push Ron's button and Ron immediately agrees to the duel. Ron, however, decides to ignore Hermione's warning and decides to go to the duel anyway. The rest of the evening goes the same as it goes in the original story. They still encounter Peeves, who of course puts the castle on high alert. They flee to the 3rd floor corridor and they still encounter Fluffy. After they encounter Fluffy, they head back to Gryffindor Tower. And Hermione of course still tells them that she is going to bed before either has another plan to get them killed or worse expelled. Hermione is of course mad at Neville and Ron. And whatever doubt Hermione, Neville and Ron might have had about Harry is now completely gone. Harry has proven himself to be a good friend and person. The following morning the 4 of them go to Hagrid, who of course ends the conversation with Halloween pretty much goes the same as always. Hermione is still the first one to make a feather float in charm class. She still gets on Ron's nerve, and Ron still tells everybody that she's a nightmare who hasn't got any friends. Hermione overhears this and still goes to the girls' bathroom. Neville tells Harry what happened between Ron and Hermione. And Harry tells Neville that everything will work out and that Hermione will probably be at the feast tonight. At the Halloween feast, Quirrell still runs in and screams. Like always, everybody in the Great Hall is panicking and Harry suddenly remembers Hermione. Harry slips away from the rest of the Slytherin and starts looking for his friend. Harry finds her in the girls' lavatory, but she's not alone. There's a giant troll there. But luckily, Harry did not arrive alone. Neville and Ron had the same idea. And the fight against the troll goes the same as always, with Ron using the club to knock out the troll. The teachers of course arrive. And Hermione lies to protect Ron, Harry and Neville. And the following day it's time for Quidditch. And it goes the same way. Quirrell still tries to curse Harry off his broom. Snape still tries to use the counter curse. Hermione still sets Snape on fire. And Harry of course recovers and then captures the snitch. And then it's time for Christmas. Ron and Harry are still playing wizard chess and Hermione and Neville still go home for the holidays. The next morning Harry finds that he actually has presents. He has some candy, a strange sweater and of course another strange package. Harry opens the package and finds a strange looking cloak. Puts it on and finds that he can turn invisible with it. He tells Ron, who tells him it's very rare. Harry still uses the cloak to look for Nicholas Flamel. He still finds the mirror of Erised. He then shows Ron, of course. He then one day sits in front of the mirror and stands face to face with his tormentor, Albus Dumbledore. And this is the end of part 1. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.